New, new, and new. Hi there, everyone. I'm Julie Turner, julieturner.ca, and I'm here for your weekly reading. And I'm really excited about today's weekly reading. Really excited. I don't know what that was all about. Jazz hands. Yesterday, or last night, I suppose, was a new moon. And I do like to talk about the moon every so often. And when we have a new moon, it is time for new things in our lives. So hopefully you guys did some type of new moon ritual, and maybe you didn't even realize it. But yesterday, last night, it was an opportune time to think about the new things that you want in your life, the things that you want maybe to change or to expand upon. So that's the new moon last night, whatever it was, August 18th of 2020. Now, I'm going to do a reading today, as I have been doing for the last few weeks, and I've drawn a couple of tarot cards. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I've drawn them in advance because I'm not great with the tarot, and I keep trying to actually read the tarot instead of looking at the card. So I'm going to do a bit of both. Now, the first card that I drew was the Temperance, but I drew it on the back side of Temperance. And you can see a lot of things going on in this card. And this card is all about healing the ego's wounds. So that's the ego's wounds, not your childhood wounds, not your heart and soul, but the ego, the thing that gets your back up, so to speak. And this is all about becoming in natural harmony with opposites, which, as you can see on the back here, we have a large bird and a large cat. So obviously, normally we see those as opposites or enemies, but we don't have to see them that way. And when they're not starving, when they're not in hunt mode, they don't need to be enemies. And that kind of makes me think about the survival versus thrive mode in our lives. And often we see other people as our enemy because we're in that survival mode. And if this is resonating with you, anybody out there that's like, well, yes, that person is my enemy, they're not. You're just in survival mode. You're feeling like people are against you. And the truth of the matter is, if we can all get over our ego and actually be open and honest, then life gets a lot easier and we don't feel as triggered by other people's behaviors. So that takes me to the next card that I drew. And I shouldn't say I drew them. I was shuffling, they fell out. That's how I work. And this is the front of the Hierophant. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Not important. You can see it. And what really stands out about this card to me is it is all about ego. This card is 100% ego. This is the energy that a lot of us are in right now. This is all about ego. You can see that this person is wearing a mask. Now, I'm not going to get into the mask issue right now. I'm literally talking, or actually I'm figuratively talking about a mask right now, not literally. So figuratively, I truly believe that we all wander through life wearing a mask. And when I say all, I'm generalizing. I apologize about generalizing, but I'm speaking to everyone right now. I know in my past I've worn a mask, and that mask was one of great strength and independence and not needing or wanting anyone else in my life. And it wasn't true. It was a protection mode. And we are in protection mode a lot, and that is your ego. Your heart, your soul, how you were born to show up in this world doesn't wear a mask. When you were a baby, you just wanted to be touched and held and felt, and you didn't care if somebody didn't like how you brought yourself forward. You didn't have that mechanism yet, but we develop it, and we develop it through traumatic situations or through what we see our parents or our siblings, maybe even our teachers and our peers. We develop these things because of them, so they're not true to us. And I often tell people when they start working with me, I'm not going to try and change you. That's not why we're here. We're here to help you let go of who you are not. And that is what this card is all about. This card is all about being impersonal and wearing a mask of protection so that you don't have to get hurt. But the fact is, you're keeping that hurt in. Whatever caused you to put on that mask is staying with you because of that mask. Please think about that. Whatever it was that caused you to wear that mask is staying with you long term because of that mask. Please let that kind of sink in for a minute while I shuffle this next deck of cards. I'm going to clear them because I never know what I was doing with these cards last, if I was doing a reading or if I was just absent-mindedly playing with them. I want your energy. Whoever's listening, whoever this is resonating with, I want your energy in these cards. Because this is our guidance card. This, what I'm going to draw next, is a guidance card. And this card is going to tell us how we are going to remove our mask. How we're going to allow that ego to heal. And it sounds really lovely. Well, just let your ego heal. Of course, that makes sense, right? But the fact is, there's steps. Because we become very comfortable in our discomfort. I talk about that a lot. We become comfortable in our discomfort. And our discomfort is our protection, right? We're okay with not being in a relationship, or we're okay with being in a relationship that kind of triggers us on a daily basis. And whether or not you need to let go of a certain relationship in your life, maybe you don't need to do that, but you need to start being honest with your feelings, with your wants, and with your needs. Needs are not being needy. Anybody out there that's like, I don't have needs. Needs are for needy people. It's BS, people. It's true BS. If you think that needs are for needy people, we all have needs. We developed as a species by having needs and by allowing people to come into our lives, by bringing in true partnerships so that we can have what we need in life, because we simply can't supply everything for ourselves. That thought process is delusional. It's old thinking. Allow yourself to develop partnerships, friendships, work relationships, because we all need other people in our lives. So what we got was the Phoenix, but we got it upside down. What this means is you're having a really hard time letting go of your past. You're having a really hard time letting things burn to the ground so that you can be new. And as I started off this reading, I started off saying new. This is what the Phoenix is all about. It's all about new. Don't be afraid to let go of the old. Be afraid to not let in the new. And sometimes the new is exactly as we were meant to be originally, but it's been so long since you've been as you were meant to be that you don't even know what it looks like. And familiarity is important to the human mind. But don't let that stop you. Don't be afraid to let everything just dissolve and burn to the ground around you. It sounds like trauma, but it doesn't need to be. It can be the best thing that happens in your life. Trust me, it can be the best thing that will happen in your life. So what energy do we need to be in to allow ourselves to heal our egos and to let our past just dissolve, burn to the ground all around us? What energy do we need to be in for that to happen? If this shuffling thing is bothering you, it's kind of a necessary evil, so stick with me. What energy do you need to be in? This card is all about guiding children. And I really, really like that for this moment, because what this brings up for me is not necessarily that you need to work with or be around children per se, although that's always lovely. If that is what you're drawn to, great. However, what I like about this card in this situation is really, really reflecting upon that child that you once were. I like to call it the inner child, because we all have that child living inside of us still. This is all about leading with your inner child, that child that still is inside of you. And every single one of us has a child inside of us. And if you stop for a moment, you can see that child in the person that's in front of you. Even if it's a complete stranger, just stop and think about what their behavior, what the look on their face, their demeanor, the way that they're holding their body, what it reflects as a child. And it's really, really amazing. If you need some help, some support with figuring out exactly what I'm talking about, to see somebody else's inner child and to understand your own inner child, please reach out. It's julieturner.ca. And I truly believe it's all about being new. It's about releasing that mask, getting rid of that mask so that we can heal our ego. Get rid of that mask. It's time to drop it. And I'm not trying to have any inner message in that, although get rid of the mask. Thank you so much for your time today. And I hope this helped. Reach out if you need me, julieturner.ca, and enjoy the rest of your day. Whatever you're watching this on, like, subscribe, whatever the case may be. I appreciate so much when people share. If it resonates with you, it will probably resonate with somebody else. Have a great day.